Welcome to Drummer Mamas. I'm Gemma Hill and I'm joined by my co-host Kira Chinia. We are very pleased to welcome Martina Barakoska today. 2025 has been a big year for her, both personally and professionally. She's moved to a different country, learned a new language, filmed a phenomenal commercial, hosted a masterclass at the UK Drum Show, and is busy with new music, and those are just a couple of the highlights. Martina tells us what inspired her to leave her hometown in North Macedonia to move to Berlin, and her very enviable, balanced approach to dealing with the positives and negatives of social media. Enjoy.
Thank you for joining us. We're super grateful. And I wanted to kick off because obviously I saw you at the UK Drum Show in Liverpool. I know you like the Beatles. How was Liverpool for you? Did it live up to any expectations that you had? Tell us.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, being at the UK Drum Show was amazing. It was like one of my dreams to achieve something like that. Like the UK Drum Show, I feel like in Europe and also in the world is one of the most well-known and the biggest drum shows. So like just being there and being able to take part of it as like in the Evans education room, like the pad room. It was just amazing. And um, also that being in Liverpool is a big plus because the Beatles. And I actually the hotel where we were staying, it was so close to the Beatles Story Museum that once the UK drum show was over, so Sunday was over, Monday I had like a train to London, which was a little bit later. So I actually squeezed in some time to go there, and it was so lovely. It's not my first time in Liverpool though. I have been, but that was so brief. It was like 24 hours or something. But yeah, this time I got to experience it like to the fullest, and just like walk around the city, and it's so rich in history. And yeah, I
Oh,
love England in general, and I always look forward to coming back.
Can I ask you a little bit about where you grew up and the music scene when you were younger?
Yeah, I grew up in North Macedonia, and I mean, I never lived anywhere abroad up until this year, when I moved to Berlin. So my hometown is called Skopje, and that's the capital of Macedonia. And it's a very small country, actually. It's like 2 million people, and it is. I would say like the whole music scene is not only in the borders of Macedonia, but we speak very similar languages in the Balkans, so we can understand each other easily. So when you have like a band or yeah, like a musical project, you always go on tour around the Balkans in more countries. Um, Other than yours. So I've been extensively touring around the Balkans, like Serbia and Croatia and Bosnia and Montenegro, Slovenia, and yeah, it's just a beautiful, I would say, peninsula, beautiful culture as well. And yeah, the music scene is for a country like that, small, is I would say is pretty rich, and I've been doing a lot of projects there up until now. Yeah, I miss it, and I hope not to, cut ties with from where I come from, because that's not my intention. But the move was mainly because yeah, I wanted to go out of my comfort zone and see what's happening in the music scene, like just internationally and more, yeah, more far from home, and pick up some new challenges. And yeah.
I'm going to ask you in a bit more detail about the move later because that all sounds
Mhm.
very interesting. But can you tell
Yeah.
us what age you were when you felt like drumming would be your career?
So I started drumming in high school. That was when I was like around 12, 13. Like even around when I was in elementary, I had like immense love for music and I was always like listening to music and just yeah, picking up some new bands, new music all the time. But yeah, the decision to start playing drums happened in my first year of high school. And I was so lucky to go to a high school that was very supportive of artists in general, not just musicians, but also people who like to draw, like to paint, or like to act. So I did, dip my toes around all of the arts because I was quite into art in general. But music really stuck to me because mainly I feel like I also like that social moment, because you are connecting with your peers, with other people that play guitar, play bass, you make a band. So I already had my first band when I was like, yeah, 1 month in playing drums. Yeah, and shout out to the mentor of the bands, who is called Emilia Kristanovska. She was yeah, just I think a huge part of my growth as a artist, because she was always there to guide us. We were so young, and it was a great experience. And then yeah, so once I experienced that, um, being able to kind of immerse into music and just spend so much time of the day without anyone making you feel, that that's not productive and that you should study. That was, I think, that led to a conclusion of when I was graduating high school. I was like, I don't want to be doing anything else actually, because I did have other interests, but it was not as strong as like just thinking about my future and being like, if I do this, like to the rest of my life, I'll be so happy. So um, then I went to music school, and it was, yeah, just, I wouldn't say it was easy because music school is not easy, but it was, yeah, it was so enjoyable and went by so fast because it was not hard to focus, because that was what I wanted to focus on. Yeah.
What does drumming mean to you personally, and what aspect of it do you hope to impart onto others?
Yeah. I think I always saw drumming and used drumming as processing tool. It will sound maybe weird, but whenever I think it comes because music means a lot to me, in the sense of going through things with music was always my go-to. It's always like that safe space when you find a song that really speaks to you, or when you find a band, an artist that you really resonate with. So I feel like that um, really translates into drumming, in the sense of when I'm playing again to that music that helps me or feels like a safe space, then I think I get to another, level of, like flow and meditation, where, I feel like whenever I like play drums and like I get into like improvising and like playing something that comes from within, um I it's always like things and thoughts come out that don't usually, come out, and I start to process things, and like maybe think about something that is in the back of my mind that is a bit heavy or something. And then I feel like I would say, in like a short answer, I would say like drumming for me is healing, and It's a big part of my growth as a person, if that makes sense. I don't want like drums to be my personality, but they also are, because it's not just um a skill, but it's also like a part of my life and who I am, because it has helped me so much. They're always there, when nothing is, or when you feel alone. And I feel like when what I want people to feel when I play is maybe the exact same when I listen to music. I kind of want them to feel, yeah, in a way, like they could listen to me, but also like things can come up to them that are a little bit, like heavy, and then start to think about them and process them. I don't know if that makes sense, but yesterday I was at a jazz show, and it was one girl that was playing guitar. So there were two acts. The first act was a solo show, and she was playing only guitar, and for 50 minutes. And it was so enjoyable, because it was exactly that, what I'm saying. It was like I was hearing her. It was so beautiful, but also I was also drifting off to some other places, when I was thinking about things, not solving problems, but just going through moments, from your life. And it's, yeah, I think it's that what I want.
I think you do. I think it's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember when I think you got maybe 20,000 followers, and I might be remembering it wrong, but I think you did this post where you're like, I'm going to celebrate and I'm going to open a bottle of wine. And then you
Yeah.
couldn't open it in the end. You didn't have the bottle opener or something.
Yeah.
And
I didn't have, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I love
Wow, I
that.
forgot about
That's
this.
stuck in my head. I was like, yes, my heart is breaking now for you, but congrats. But now, you've got so many more followers, and I just wanted to know how your relationship has changed with social media, if it has at all, and how you find that whole thing of, art and posting and things like that.
I feel like I do have like two separate relationships with social media. It's my scrolling relationship, which I hate, and the work relationship, which I love, because it has brought me so many things in my career. And basically, I am where I am just because I started posting on social media when it was COVID. And so short answer, I feel like is an amazing tool in our lifetime that we're able to use to connect with people and with musicians. And I have so many friends around the world just because of that. And also coming to Berlin, I already had so many friends here that yeah, like, and people that I knew about or knew about me. And then, yeah, it was amazing. And I still like feel the power of it daily. Um, how has my relationship changed? I feel like it made me grow so much, because also there is a specific skill set that you need to have to make videos. And when I started, they were at a certain quality, and then I progressed, and I learned so many things about like yeah, just miking, mixing, videos, editing. But mainly, I think I benefit from the production side, and I think I've practiced even without knowing being a studio drummer. And now I really love and being a studio drummer, and I really want to do it more and more. It's something that I think I could do like every day, all the time, to like, yeah. just writing parts and recording them and working with producers and artists is just my, yeah, it's something that resonates with me very much. And um, it has changed in a way when everything was closed. Social media was everything I had going on, and making videos. And once things started, happening again, then it was a balance between social media and real life, which is, uh, yeah, grateful to have that. um, and that's the only thing that's changed. I feel I grew together with it, and together with my profile. It did become a bit more overwhelming. The yeah, just the amount of people writing, and you cannot reply to everyone, and that's a part that it's super heavy for me, because it gets so overwhelming in a way that I cannot physically just sit down and say thank you to everybody, but I really want to, you know. But it takes a lot of time. But if I could, I would say thank you to everyone, every one of the people who, you know, took time to write something nice about my video, or something I did. Even hateful comments help. So yeah, just anyone who ever wrote something, I would take time to you know reply if I could. But yeah.
When you say about the hateful comments, I mean, do you mean like you actually, do you take on board what they're saying, or are you like, this is engagement? Or do you still just find that place to appreciate the time they took to write it? Like where does that sit?
I don't know. I think it sits in all three places. Because I mean, it is engagement, of course. Then maybe like the negative connotation is also sometimes constructive criticism, and I can take it into account and see, like, is this person right or wrong? And then um, sometimes it's also like just um, for them to feel better, you know. So I've heard this before, and it's like negative comments and positive comments are kind of like the same thing, uh, like different. How is that saying? Like a different side of the same coin.
Yes.
Um, and you shouldn't lean to any too much. You shouldn't
Yeah.
lean into positive feedback also, because the truth is always somewhere in the middle. I don't want to be like, someone said like I'm the best drummer ever. I'm not. Or someone said like I'm the worst drummer ever. I'm not. I'm somewhere in the middle of being the best and the worst. And this is just like a very plastic way of explaining it, but and I feel like that's quite true. Because if you lean too much into positive comments as well, and I do get a lot of that, um, I would be like, oh, then I'm like super good, and like I don't have to practice anymore, because like I get so many good comments. But yeah, I tend to be like more of the criticized, yeah, drummer. So I always try to find, yeah, ways or things that um, are not, yeah, good enough, and then fix them. Yeah.
You sound so level-headed. I'm really envious.
I mean, I think a lot, and then I think I try to explain to myself these things, so I can help myself. Because yeah, I think like being your a teacher to yourself is also a very good thing. So I try to be that with yeah, just thinking about the psychological side of drumming.
I'd really like to ask you about your move to Germany next.
Yeah.
So, firstly, why Berlin? It's quite a lot of questions, really. Why Berlin? Tell us about the language, like work visas, and also how has it been? I'm guessing that you've moved without family. I mean, you said you have a lot of friends in Berlin, but tell us about dealing with all of that.
Wow. Yeah. So yeah, I don't have family move with me, but I do have family here, fortunately, that were like born here, and I feel so lucky to not be completely alone without any family, and they have helped me so much, and just like sending big love to them right now. I mean, just with having assistance with finding an apartment or doing my first Anmeldung. You know what's that? That's like a registration of the address that you will live on, and just helping out with yeah, for them to be there when I was doing that, because I'm not fluent yet in German, was so amazing. To have someone, holding your hand through the process is amazing. Um, yeah, being far from home, it is heavy. I do feel a lot of happiness being here and being like able to like grasp so many opportunities. But at the same time, you miss home, or it is a different culture, definitely. It's not so different, like drastically, but again, once the language barrier comes in, then you feel a little bit more distant. And yeah, I'm working on the language. I can understand most of the things. It's just that moment when it's hard to speak, or when you're too shy to butcher the language. But I really want to respect the culture and learn German, although it's very hard. But yeah, and why Berlin? I think I was first here in 2021, and it was through Yamaha. We were doing a video shoot, and I was in the area of like the Warschauer Straße, so where the wall is, and it was so, just being there, it was so beautiful in a way. But it's not like beautiful in that, like, oh, everything is like so like clean and pretty. It was like kind of the opposite thing. It was Berlin. So it was like I felt like it's an honest place, and a place where you can find a place for yourself, whoever you are. And that was something that the city, I felt from the city. And once I was there the first time, I was like, oh, I really want to come back here and eventually maybe move. So that idea stuck to me from the first time I visited. And then I started connecting with more and more people from here. And the beginning of this year was the first time when I felt like I had more things going on here than I had back home. And that was not the problem, but the problem was, because Macedonia is non-EU. I had a limited time, so it was 90 days only, and it was basically impossible to. It was possible, but I had a Schengen calendar, and I was like supposed to fly in and out all the time, and I was like, this really doesn't make sense. I better like come here and then be feel more free, and then whenever I have to be home, I'll be home. But this way I'm more free to work and be, yeah, just able roam around as a free person, which is something that, yeah, I'm quite trying to accept that concept, because I this year it has been very also like administrative, because I was doing the visa process, and it was so many documents, but also I need a visa for the UK, I need a visa for the US. So yeah, just like a lot of things where you're like, I'm just like a musician, like, and I just want to be able to, or have the right of movement to just go. And I promise I won't overstay, because it doesn't work in my favor to just be stuck in one place. Yeah, so yeah, visas is just it reminds you of, yeah, some, I don't know how to put it, but it reminds you, it's, yeah, the world is very divided, and I don't like that. And you have to constantly prove over and over who you are, where you come from, and why do you want to do what you want to do. Yeah. But if that's the price, so so be it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm lucky because I've been in Germany since before Brexit, but I notice on a lot of people who I know from the UK, this it's this 3 month thing, the 90-day rule, and it's a pain, and it's sad for the arts, isn't it? Because when you
So
restrict
much.
people like that, then things change, and it's yeah, it's not how it was before.
Yeah.
But well done for going through the whole process and learning another
Yeah,
language on
so
top of everything
happy.
else.
I mean, if anybody that's watching needs a consultation regarding visas, I'm here. Like, if they need help, I will help, because I really, yeah, would have appreciated, like, knowledge, and I would like to share it.
Did it help having those companies and endorsements in place, like with Yamaha, because
Oh yeah.
they're based in Germany too, right?
Yeah, I actually, I mean, the companies really stood behind me, and they were very happy to support me with letter of recommendations. So Yamaha and Meinl really, I mean, because they're Germany based, they were the most important. They could do the most, because Evans and Promark are US, and they so Yamaha and Meinl were quite a big part of, just kind of confirming that what I do is true, and like supporting and saying that they will, be here throughout my career, and like, yeah, help me with my move, and with having having a job, and yeah, giving me, like, collaborating on projects and stuff like that.
I would love to ask you a couple of questions about the Thomann advert, so another German company, because it is like cinematic,
Ah,
this
the
advert that
Thomann.
you
Yeah,
recently
yeah.
did. Yeah. Um, how long did it take? Like, and what was the brief? Did you know much about it beforehand?
Yeah, actually, the brief, the casting, I got recommended by Klaus Hessler. So he was my mentor, and I feel like he still is. And I was studying with him. I think it was last year, or is it like 2 years ago already? I don't even know. But anyway, he recommended me, like, hey, try like applying for like this Thomann commercial. Like, they're from the agency, they were like asking around, and he connected me with them. But then that was not it. That was just a recommendation. And I'm super, yeah, like, grateful for Klaus, because he always like sends things my way, like, just to like, just because if he thinks I'm a good fit, and I'm sure he does that with all of his students, because all of his students are so amazing. I mean, and the way he supports them is is amazing. So after I said that I'm interested, they were like, okay, we have like a director and we will have to, do casting exercises. So I did, like an introduction. So just talking about myself and how, what I think, not what I think, but what's my approach to drums and how I feel about drums. Then it was like the headshots, so proper, like do it without glasses, do it with hair up, everything. And then it was like send us a video, I mean videos of you playing, so we can see your level. Um, and I think those were the first exercises. And then once I was in the more close circle, so I went into the finale, I guess. It was the actual song and how I will be performing it. So there were like guidelines, like you have to be expressive, you have to like also be able to act with your face, so with your facial expressions. So because it was not only drumming, but also like going up to the drums and having like a certain emotion, and then while playing, having another emotion. And yeah, there were a couple of back and forths, and then yeah, I got the role. It was a proper acting kind of audition. Um, it was important to be a good drummer as well, but also to be able to control your expressions while you're drumming. Um, and the shoot itself was basically, I think it was 10 hours. Um, so we started early morning. I think at 7 I came into the studio. So it was only one studio. With the studio is in Munich. It's called Hyperbole, and it's like a huge LED screen that's like bent. And then I also, like, on top there's an LED, and they can basically map it to anything, to be anything. And it actually looks very, very real. And they do like special effects and stuff like that. So everything that was, there in the commercial is shot at the same place. It's just a different scene. Um, so there was a casting, not a casting, it was like a dress up. So one day, um, where we had to find out what I'm gonna wear, and another day when it was the shooting, and that was 10 hours. And it was basically it was the acting part that was like the shortest, and then it was like 8 hours of drumming, like on like the you saw in the commercial, is just like completely like all the time 100%. So it was 8 hours of just that, just bashing the drums and being expressive. It was super fun.
The result is amazing. It looks incredible.
Yeah, it
So
looks like Hollywood
yeah,
almost.
yeah, that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing team on set, and the director Mateus, and like Hertz Six agency. Yeah, they did an amazing job with the whole team. So grateful for that.
I wanted to ask you and go back and talk about the UK Drum Show because you played in the Evans Sound Advice Room.
Sound advice.
So
Yeah.
can you tell us a little bit about what you did and how you found it? Because it was quite a lovely, like, intimate space, and how you found that compared to, say, a bigger stage.
It was very different. I felt like it was such a happy room, because everybody was so open. There was a lot of interest for that room, because I feel like all of the rooms were sold out, all of the lessons. I even got to listen to some of them. I went to, of course, to Klaus's lesson and practiced And yeah, it was amazing. I felt like it was very like it was not such a distant thing from the one who was like teaching and the people who were listening. I felt like it was more like a very relaxed um guided practice sessions. And I really had fun with the two of mine that I did. I did one with the one where we practiced the full stroke. So it was very easy, very slow learning of or introduction of the technique. And then the next one was reading. Um, like reading a melodic text with just different subdivisions and how you can practice different things and practice flow with that, because I feel like it's one of the best ways to practice flow, if any. Like I feel that that's maybe the only way, because you're actually just doing it and just playing, and that's how you practice flow, I guess. um so yeah, I feel like it was an amazing idea, and it was yeah, people were very interested in that room, and I feel like they were um yeah, it was an amazing little room where like the craziness of the whole UK drum show like disappeared, and it was just a very chill vibe in there. And yeah, the main stage is huge. I mean, that venue is amazing. And I mean, I could not imagine how it is to play there. Um, but I got to see Eloy Casagrande from the side of the stage. That was amazing. And I saw Greg Bizanet. That made me very emotional because um, yeah, his philosophy is that he just wants to play drums and just go around the world, and it's something that resonates with me a lot, and just playing the music that he loves. And the fact that he gets to do that with Ringo is just another level of how amazing of a drummer and person he is. And I got to talk to him a little bit, and it was amazing. Um, yeah, and I really loved back to his performance. I really loved that he made like a medley of things of songs that he likes, and they were so drastically different from one another. It was like a swing song, and then like a Taylor Swift song, and there was like yeah, it was so different. And he blended into each one of them so well, and it just shows, yeah, how knowledgeable he is of music.
And I think, I don't know if, I don't want to put words in your mouth. I feel like maybe he's giving us all permission to just play the things that we want to play, and there are no rules, and you just being yourself is great and enough.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I love that about um, he's playing that it's not very there are no like rules of, oh, like I feel sometimes in music there is this thing of if it's popular then it sucks, and I feel like we should really, yeah, get rid of that like pre consumption of popular music, because some like a lot of good producers work on very popular songs, and there's always something, or maybe even like amazing drummers laid down drums on a song that's on the radio, and you can learn a lot from that. For example, from Harry Styles, one of my favorite song is To Be So Lonely, and the drums on that, I was always like mesmerized by the drum production, and I googled like who did that, and it's actually Aaron Sterling. it's been an inspiration for a lot of things, that song. And it is a popular song, and it is a pop singer that's ultra famous, but that doesn't mean that yeah, it's not, it doesn't have like valuable things in the music.
I saw at the drum show this time, we talked about it a little bit, Kira and I, and we felt like this year there were a lot more girls at the show, a lot more
Hmm.
women as well walking around, but a lot of kids. And I thought how exciting it must be for them to be at a show and they see people like you there who, you know, they're looking up to. How important do you think it is for drum events and masterclasses to have a diverse range of people playing and having women there as well?
I think it's so important. And I think they are aware and that they're doing it. And I feel like I felt that on a personal level, young drummer. I mean, I didn't get to see a lot of female drummers, but I did have YouTube. So I associated myself with Annika Niles or Stella Mosgawa from Warpaint. Those were like two of my favorite drummers growing up. And um, it's so important to see that you can do it. That um, communicates you can do it as a girl, you know? And that was my that's why Warpaint as a band are so valuable to me, because they're all girls, and that communicated to me from a young age that okay, girls can do it, and girls can actually you know, be in this industry. And it's not like something that is communicated to you like in a you know, like that you kind of like it's like more like in the back of your mind you see that and you see, oh, it's possible. It's not that it's like clear when you see it, but seeing that communicates that okay, this is not a man's world, you know. And the more and more it happens, um, I think the more equal it's gonna get, because it's still not equal, but I mean, it's so far from yeah where we started, I think. And on like a different perspective, when I was starting to teach. And this is one of the things that I miss the most in Macedonia that I had is my school. I had like 15 students, and most of them were girls. And it's I feel like that is also something that communicated like girls can do it, you know, and that I encouraged a lot of them to just go for it, and that it's not something that's unusual, and yeah, it's it's wonderful to see. And I also made like shows, like student drum shows for them, and like they went on stage and played, and just to have been able 3 years in a row to just give them a stage just felt like surreal. I had more anxiety, like stage fright for them than you know, like than I normally do. Like I was like shaking, like just you know, like worrying about them. And it was yeah, it was amazing. So yeah, I quite missed that, but like compared to when I was going to drum lessons, I was the only girl going to drum lessons. And when I was teaching, like 10 years later, it was the other way around. So I felt like, okay, I think I've done something right in encouraging people around me, at least.
This is our last question. I would love to know, we would love to know what you've got coming up that you can tell us about.
Oh. I have got coming up some studio sessions in my studio. I have to wrap up some songs, and then yeah, it's the holidays, and then I will come to the UK. I think 2 times now that are still like in the talks, but at least 2 times I'm gonna be in the UK. Um, and I do have some confirmed also drum shows, which I can say about Berlin Drum Days. I'm gonna be on Berlin Drum Days, and everything else. Yeah, I do have some prepared yeah, solo stuff, and I think I'm gonna focus a bit more on being like more focused on the solo music, because I felt like I wanted to do that for a long time. And hopefully some tours coming up as well. So yeah, I'm currently in the process of sitting in stone um, things for next year. So it will be a balance between solo shows, drum festivals, master classes, and tours. And I'm quite excited.
That sounds good. Sounds like an
Yeah,
excellent plan for next year.
Yeah,
can't wait.
yeah.
Thank you, Martina, so much for your time and for sharing everything. We really, really appreciate it. And yeah, can't wait to see you in the UK hopefully next year.
Oh, I'm so looking forward to being in the UK again. I always feel welcome, and just is an amazing place and rich with history of music. I resonate so much with bands from England, and I always cannot wait to come back. So yeah, see you soon.
Thanks for listening to the Drummer Mamas podcast. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please leave us a 5-star rating because it makes us more visible to other listeners. And we really do appreciate any comments or reviews. It makes a difference. Thanks again, and see you next time.